Don't fuck up. Don't fuck yourself. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Rude Cooking School Podcast. I'm your host, John Hauser III, and with me is someone who's down on the corner and passed out in the street.
Alf, I'm on the phone. It's me, Evan the Mayor.
Hey, dude. For those who are wondering, Evan's background are two gnarly-looking people passed out on the corner of a bar.
They are passed out. I do believe that the guy on the left, possibly the lady on the right as well, were very high on heroin.
He definitely has a lot of sores on his legs and arms, and very much is in a nod stance.
There's video taken from inside the bar through the window of him grasping the stop sign that's on that corner and just
leaning.
It's like he was in a hurricane or something. He's just like leaning back, leaning forward, leaning back.
It's amazing. It really truly is amazing when someone is in a heroin lean like that. They just don't fall.
I don't know how you fall, because if I've had 5 glasses of wine and take a drag of a cigarette, I will fall. I'm gonna fall.
Yeah, it's a whole different animal. Thank God. I'm by the grace of heroin goes me. I don't know. No thanks.
Title of the episode.
Yeah. How's it going, man? Have you been around anywhere, eaten anywhere, tried anything?
No, not really.
Sweet.
No. Yeah, we've just been eating like trash pandas.
Nice.
We got, I think over the weekend, we got like $80 worth of, what's that place called? The Szechuan place up in Charles Village.
Oh yeah,
Orient
it's
Express.
got a really generic name. Yeah.
Orient Express. We got like half the menu sent to us, and we just ate.
Did you get the bullfrog?
No, but we grazed on that for like a week, and prior to that, we made like just a week's worth of taco fixins. So yeah, we've been just sort of like making gigantic piles of food and picking at them throughout the entire week.
Nice.
Yeah.
What did you get from Orient Express?
Dan Dan noodles, probably lo mein. I think I got like a pepper chicken, heavy on the peppercorns. I asked for that.
Wow.
The Szechuan peppercorns, the ones
No, I know.
it's tingly berries, as I call them.
It's bold at that place.
It's good. All kinds of appetizers. It's all gone now, so I don't remember what everything was.
I like have you ever had their trotter?
No.
It's really good. It's very spicy. It's just a pig's foot. It falls apart. It's really good with noodles. It's very good. It's a lot of bones. Like, I don't know if you've ever eaten a trotter before, but it's worth picking through if you like that kind of skin and cartilage deal.
Yeah.
Which I do.
There's actually a photo of me holding a trotter right across my living room in a shadow box, because I was on the front of the newspaper.
Oh, right. That's right. I remember that picture.
Gross.
Yeah, their food's really good.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I think then come June, I have to be back in the office 5 days a week, which is in Frederick, and I won't be getting home until like probably 6 every day. So I think we're gonna switch to like stuff that comes in a box again, and stuff I can cook in like 3 minutes.
Or you learn how to meal prep like a lady who lives in Utah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And then I make TikTok videos out of it, and I get a sponsor, and I make a lot of money, and I don't have to work in Frederick.
You just got to wear your milkmaid dresses.
Yeah, I should do that. Maybe I could just use AI to like appear like a trad wife.
Oh God!
Trad wife with the deepest voice ever.
Hey everybody!
Hey everybody! My name is Cynthia.
Ready to prep for the apocalypse.
2 things I love: Jesus and making lasagna for my kids.
I have 13 kids. Got to get it all done in one night. Yeah, those videos are very infuriating.
Yeah, it's a bad trend. I think I really needs to end. It's so fucking annoying.
And I don't mind people that are doing like meal prep videos, but most meal prep videos are infuriating because they just either try to act like peanut butter and jelly is like a really impressive thing to prep,
or like chicken and broccoli.
Yeah. And I get it. You got a lot of kids and you got to prep for a lot of people, but do better, trad wives that are clearly rich. Like clearly rich. Like your house is gigantic.
Yes. Everything is spotless.
Yeah. Marble countertops.
I have 8 kids, but the whole house is completely clean somehow.
Absolutely clean. Like you can eat off every surface clean. And maybe that's just for the videos. I don't know.
I'd eat off her surface. Oh.
Gross. I've been cooking. I've been trying to eat healthier. I, went to the doctor, got some blood work back, and it wasn't the greatest.
You got the high cholesterols?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's mainly stress because it can be brought on by that. Because I don't eat terribly. I don't eat great. Like I'm not super health guy, but like, everything I make is from scratch. Nothing out of a box. We order food on the weekends, but like most of it's homemade. All of it's homemade except for the takeout stuff. We don't go out much, but
even beer can kick it up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, booze is probably a big part of that too.
Mm-hmm.
So just working out a little bit harder. One big thing's portion control. I'm really kind of bad at that. So when I pull it back, I notice a difference. A lot more fish.
Okay.
Made some really nice tilapia tacos the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was really good. Broiled fish, made some guac, made some pico from scratch. Those were really yummy. Then there's this. Have you ever been to Culinary Architecture in Pigtown?
No.
It's really cool. My wife got me some really fun stuff there for Christmas, and she got me this big fucking honking jar that's called salsa seca, and it's nothing but like, sesame seeds and it's a bunch of different kinds of seeds in a dry salsa almost.
Okay.
It's like a chili Mexican chili crisp almost.
Okay.
It's fucking really good.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it goes good on anything. So, that was on the tacos too. I can't remember what the actual name of the fucking salsa. Have you ever had salsa matcha?
No, probably not.
Okay. Well, salsa matcha,
like
it's
the tea?
like salsa. No, salsa matcha, but it's drier, so it's a salsa seca. So anyway, it's delicious. I love fish tacos, and these were just broiled fish, a little bit of salt, pepper, boom, lots of lime.
Boom.
It was really good. But lots of our side was I went to Tortilleria Sinaloa and got a big old bag of the delicious fried tortilla chips that are the best tortilla chips in the world.
How much?
$7.
All right.
$7 or $8.
Okay.
But like you could lift a dump truck up with those chips. They're so fucking thick, Like you've never had the chips from there?
I don't typically get like chips and salsa when I go to one of those places.
Gotcha. When you walk in, they literally just have a rack with just bags, because it's a tortilleria, so they literally just make tortillas all day. So anything they got left over, they just fry the next day, and they're fucking incredible. So good. Be a hero next time to the next party you go to and bring a fucking bag of those things, and people will be like, "This even stands up to my mom's cement olive dip," and you're like, "Hell yeah, it does."
Cement olive dip.
Yeah. But yeah, so just making that. Crosby got sick last week, and when he gets sick, we usually buy him wonton soup, but I decided to make wonton soup because I stayed home with him. I don't think I've ever made wonton soup, but it was really interesting. It was fun. And I went to a bunch of places looking for wraps, and I found them eventually, but not as easy to find around here as you would think. I actually found them at Safeway, which was weird.
Speaking of wraps, I made summer rolls for the first time a couple of weeks ago, and It's a little trickier than I thought it was going to be, but I did it.
Oh yeah, with the water and the towel.
Yeah, water towel. You gotta. Those cellophane noodles are very. I didn't realize they come in cakes. Like I thought that these little things were going to separate into tiny little noodles, and I would lay them down on over the wet the wet wrap. But no, they're like cakes. So you just kind of put the cake on there, and then you put your shrimp and your mint and your cut up lettuce and whatever else you're going to put in there.
A cake.
Yeah, it's like a little puck, and then you put it in boiling water for like 4 minutes and pull it out and immediately douse it with cold water.
Oh, weird. The ones I get are normally in just a big bag, and you just put them in a bowl and you just put hot water over it, and then just let them sit. But then you pull them apart and wash them off to cool them down.
Yeah, I mean that's basically what I'm describing. But these cakes,
you got like a mop,
something like that. But yeah, this was a little harder to start pulling the things apart, so I didn't bother. And then I watched I watched a couple of YouTube videos where people were just taking them and soaking them in hot water and then just transferring them to a plate and covering them in chili oil and various other things. And I was like, oh, that's also interesting.
It sounds good too.
But yeah, summer rolls pretty good. Took a long time to make them though.
Yeah, they're kind of a pain, but once you get used to it, it kind of
I got used to it pretty fast. It was mostly as soon as you take that rice paper thing and you dip it in the hot water and it just goes and it becomes all sticky, and yet somehow manages to not tear if you're like doing it right.
You were doing it in hot water?
Maybe warm water, not hot water.
Okay, I normally just do it in like room temperature water because hot water literally just like melts.
Yeah.
Because the key is just to kind of dip it quick, put it on the thing and let it soften, then put all your shit in and wrap it kind of like a burrito, but they're easier because it all sticks to each
nice
other.
And like rubbery.
Leanna made a shitload of burritos because I had so much stuff left over from making the fish tacos. So I had like a ton of rice and beans, as I had for sides, and she made vegetarian burritos out of them. But the wontons were great, but I made a big thing of like, you put the shrimp in the food processor, and then you put the scallions and the ginger and the garlic and the sauces and the pork, and then you blitz it all together to make like a puree that you put in the wontons. And I used a tenth of that and made like 40 wontons and had all this filling left over. So the next day, I had her make just taking Baldo's make meatballs, and then we just tossed them with ginger scallion sauce on ramen noodles.
Nice.
That was really good. Cause I made ramen. I told you this, like I texted you, right? That I was making ramen.
Yeah.
Like a couple weeks ago.
You sent me photos of like all the shit that you made. I was like, yeah, I'll just spend the $15.
Yeah. You're like, yeah, I'll just pay for it. Yeah, we had friends over. A friend of ours lost her job. Thanks, Doge, you fucks. And we just had them over to sort of commiserate and hang out. And I made ramen for 12 people and had enough for probably 20 people. So, it was a good spending spree at H Mart the day before. And then that night just prepping all the pickles and stuff like that.
Never a bad spending spree at H Mart.
Well, no, not at all. It's so much fun and just getting stuff. And no, we had a good time. The only problem was I burnt the second round of pot stickers because I wasn't paying attention because I was making people food, and I had to turn on the fly real quick because I didn't realize one of their daughters was vegetarian, so I had to make previously said ginger scallion sauce really quick because I was like, I don't have anything to feed you. Fuck. Here's some ginger scallion sauce. Like I had ginger and scallion left over. Blitz that up with some sauces and stuff, and then boom, ginger scallion sauce. Here's some, I was like, do you want any of the pickled cucumbers or like, pickled bamboo shoots that I made? And she was like, no, I'm good. I was like, all right, well, fine.
I don't know if I mentioned it on this podcast, but we did hot pot as well. We got a bunch of shabu meat from H Mart and just did it at home.
Oh, that's cool.
And it was, we got a packet, and it didn't taste as good as the restaurant, but it was pretty fun and easy to do at home.
Did you get one of the burners things?
No, I have an induction thing.
But it has the two sides?
No, I didn't get like the yin yang thing. I just used a Dutch oven to hold the broth.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Like, I really want to buy one of those yin yang things and have like the hot
buy
side
it quick before those tariffs go in.
Yeah, no shit. Well, the way everything's going, I might not have a job in a week. So thanks,
me
tariffs.
neither. Woohoo! We can do a podcast about
that. Two tariff twats. There it is.
We're just two guys with a crazy idea. We can start our own fancy burger bar.
Oh God. Yeah, and have a podcast about it. Weird. Two cis white dudes having a podcast. That's an original idea.
With a burger bar? It's a great idea.
Yeah. It's only smash burgers, you guys. It's extreme.
Smash burgers. You can upgrade your patties. We got all kinds of crazy crap you can put on them, and we have 437 beers on tap.
All IPAs.
437 IPAs and 2 light beers.
You know what's funny? I went to a restaurant.
A restaurant.
That it's a bar restaurant.
It's a bar.
And they're known for having a good beer selection. Not one IPA. I was very surprised.
Yeah. Wow.
People have kind of don't want to drink that anymore. But every other beer that I got tasted like swamp water. So that was awesome.
Cool. Yeah, we drink so much Miller Lite in this house that I think I've become allergic to it.
I had a Miller Lite last week for the first time in probably over a year. Because I only drink it if I'm like it's my only option, right? And I don't care. Like, I used to drink that shit like water back in the day. I just choose not to because there's better beers. But I will tell you, I had that Miller Lite and went, wow, tastes like beer. I think I'll have 5 more of those.
Oh, yeah.
They went down real quick.
They go down very smooth.
Yeah, to the point where I was like, oh, I've got to leave. I can't be here.
Yeah, so my wife, her friend came in from California, and every time her friends from the West Coast come, they always get like a 30-pack of Natty Boh. And I had one, and I was like, oh, these are really bad. These are awful.
They taste so bad. Yeah. They're like weird and sweet.
It's a very odd flavor.
It's what I imagine diabetes tastes like.
It's not so much the sweetness as it is for me, like almost like a battery acid quality. I don't know. I can't describe it.
So you'll like this. I'll have to take you to this place. My mother hangs out at an old people's club in Ferndale. And a friend of mine's dad passed away, and I went to the funeral last week. And afterwards, my mother and me and some friends from the neighborhood that I grew up in went to this place. And you got to be a member. You got to get in. Like, you got to sign in if you're not a member and shit. My mother got us all in. But it's like the beers are fucking $2.50 or something like that. $2. And like, it's just everyone is over 65. And it was packed. And it was 5:15. Fucking supremely packed. And I bet you by 9 o'clock, 75% of that place was empty. Because I had a couple beers and then had to leave. I didn't actually have 6. But, yeah, got a bucket of Miller Lights. Nice. I was like, this is a pretty sweet life. This is kind of like just hanging out in an old neighborhood bar.
I miss those days.
Yeah, dude. And I was like, maybe I can fucking start hanging out at this place. We just have
to move to Pasadena. We can live that life.
No doubt, dude. You'd love this place, though. It's so fucking weird and old school. Like, it's a really small bar, and then attached to it, you got to go through 2 doors to get to it. Through a little hallway is a hall. And, all their hall shit is there. Like, I think they had me a surprise 40th birthday there. Like, yeah, pretty fucking wild place. Good old Ferndale Club.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Just a bunch of fucking Trump supporters and all their fucking, just wine, Fox News is on in the background. Anyway. Yeah, I've been cooking. It's been great. I try to do it to keep myself from going crazy. It's my respite. And it's my fun time on the weekends to just Saturday night, just make a bunch of crazy shit, or Sunday afternoon, just put on some Guy Garvey's Finest Hour on the BBC and make some food. So I hope you guys are doing that too. But until then, let's get to some food news.
News. Yeah.
Thanks, man. That was good. Let's start with foie gras.
Oh no.
Foie gras can be made without force feeding animals.
I was just thinking 3D printed foie gras, I bet.
No, I wish. Foie gras has long been considered a delicacy of delicacies. I'm sure I've asked you this before, but what's your stance? What's your level of like or dislike of foie gras?
Morally or taste wise?
Both.
I mean, as a pate, it tastes the same to me as a pig pate or something like that. Maybe.
Wow, really?
Maybe a little fattier, but I don't care. I don't really care for it. I don't give a shit. I don't think it's cool to force feed animals to make them fat and kill them, but we kind of do that anyway.
Have you had like foie that's not been like blitzed and mixed with other stuff? Have you just had like
I don't know
seared foie gras?
Really don't know.
Oh, okay, interesting. Okay.
Speaking of crazy burger bars, I think I've had it on a burger. Yeah,
and that's always pretty good. But again, when you're mixing it with all that stuff, it's like, why? You might as well just put a patty of like butter on it.
Right.
However, it's also a polarizing food, so much so that California banned its production and sale in 2014. New York City also attempted to ban its sale, which, I mean, every fucking place in New York had foie on its menu for years. However, that decision was overturned in 2024 after the New York Supreme Court stated it violated the state's agricultural laws. Still, this highlighted the growing concern for the welfare of the animals we ultimately consume for our food. Now, scientists claim that they found a way for people to enjoy foie without having to force feed the animals in the process. As a quick reminder, foie gras is traditionally made by force feeding ducks or geese to ensure that they consume enough food to swell up their livers to 10 times their typical size. The animals are then processed, which means they're slaughtered, and then their livers are taken for this fresh delicacy. A 2-pound lobe of foie gras right now is probably about $120 if you get it from like Hudson Valley Foods, which Hudson Valley Foie Gras is the only place I buy mine from, because they have a force feeding system that doesn't hurt the geese or the ducks that they work with. And
they lobotomize them.
It's all ducks, but literally they turn the machine on and the ducks just come up to them like, food. And they just have this like little thing they just stick down their necks. The ducks stick their heads up. They just kind of squirt the food into their stomach, and then the ducks walk away like, hey, thanks, I'm super full. But by the way, it's a great place to get like a tub of duck fat, which is amazing with potatoes with a little bit of thyme. Just saying. Also, their duck meat is great. I love that place. Anyway. However, researchers from the Max Planck Institute for Polymer Research in Mainz, Germany, claim to have replicated this process without force feeding any animals. I'm a big fan of foie gras, shared Thomas Vilges, the researcher at the Institute with New Scientist. I was fascinated by this mouthfeel. It was so different from other pâtés, and so I asked myself, what is it? Vilges explored that question by attempting to reverse engineer the mouthfeel of foie gras by combining fat and liver. Initially, he had limited success, first testing the addition of animal bones, followed by collagen, which also fell short. However, as he and his colleagues detailed in their recent research published in the Journal of Physics of Fluid, their final attempt proved to be a winner. By the way, do you have a subscription to the Physics of Fluid?
Yeah, of course. Lifetime membership.
Yeah, I really love their last entry on quicksand. According to the research, the reason foie gras tastes the way it does is due to a specific distribution of fat, which results in the release of the enzyme Candida rugosa type 7 from the pancreas.
My favorite.
Jesus. Yeah, that's my favorite kind of rugosa. They found that it is possible to recreate the same flavors and textures without the need to force feed the animal, simply by treating the fat with the enzyme after processing the goose or duck.
Oh, okay.
The lipas is a molecular scissor, Vilgus told New Scientist, explaining that it rearranges fat cells into crystalline forms, which in turn gives it a distinct texture and flavor. After treating the fat with the enzyme, the team blended it with the liver to recreate the cruelty-free foie gras.
Wow.
While the researchers detailed the various scientific methods they used to demonstrate that their creation closely resembled an authentic product, including powerful microscopy.
Yes, that is the word.
Is that right?
That's the word, yep.
Microscopy.
Microscopy.
Mike's crotchery. In their research paper, Vilgus asserted that the ultimate test was how it smelled and tasted, just like one would find in fine dining restaurant. Of course, it's not 100% agreement, but we are very close, Vilgus told the New York Times. Now all that's left for the team is to figure out a way to mass produce the product to go to market. However, it's critical to note that it's not a vegan alternative, as it still requires the slaughter of animals for production. Yeah, no shit, it's made up of liver. Nonetheless, there are ways to enjoy foie gras that do not involve animal interventions, such as Vowels foie gras, which is a cultured product introduced by the Australian company in 2024, which is crafted without any animal intervention, meaning it was grown in the lab rather than on a farm or in a factory. So that's interesting. I'd like to try that. I love foie gras, and there was actually on. Do you know who Chef Steps are? Have you ever watched any of their videos?
No.
Do you know the Anova immersion circulator?
Yeah, sure. It's my favorite.
Oh, okay. They don't make that one. They make their own. It's called Joule, Joule.
Ah, yes.
And it just sticks, like you can just stick it into like your Dutch oven. It's got a magnet on the bottom, so you don't have to clip it to the side, and then you just deal with it with your phone, and it brings all the water up to temp. It's actually a pretty nifty device. But they do a lot of immersion circulating recipes, and one they did was a foie gras that, if I'm remembering correctly, wasn't actual meat, and they fooled a whole room full of chefs. They were like, "God damn, this is really good. And it's silky," and they're like, "Not real foie," and they're like, "What the fuck?"
So in the lab,
but it was interesting to see how they
used to
made
have
it.
these hot plates that also had a circulating function, where you would get your beaker, put it on there, you can turn on the heat, and then you would put a little magnetic bar in the bottom and turn the spin function on. The magnetic bar would just spin around in the bottom to create the flow.
Yeah. I've had an immersion circulator forever, and I love it. I actually used it to make all my soft-boiled eggs for the ramen, because you just put them in the thing and just let them go for 20 minutes.
That is definitely a piece of equipment I should have stolen from the lab when I left.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's so nice. Like, just for like, did I tell you I made like a whole turkey, but I cut it into pieces a couple weeks ago?
No.
Because Safeway's been selling turkey for 19 cents a pound. So I bought a whole turkey for $5. That was 20 some pounds, basically. And Joule has a recipe for, like a turkey, whatever you want to call it, like immersion circulator turkey. And it was really, really fucking good. And you let it cook for basically over 24 hours. It was banging. It was so incredible. So they made vegan foie gras mousse. So like, I'm just looking up the recipe now. It's pretty fucking crazy. But yeah, anyway. I love regular foie gras, but if I can get it without, it super soaking a duck's stomach with, 14 pounds of whatever they feed them, corn or whatever, like that's fine.
Yeah.
I'll just switch, Can you eat after swimming?
I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah. We're all going to die. I'm sure that's not as much of a thing as it was, but I think someone did a scientific thing on it. There are a few commonalities across childhood and swimming experiences in the United States. And one of them is, are you going to die from going into the water after you eat? Along with, Marco Polo and drinking Capri Suns and Cheetos and stuff. But so what is your timeage when you grew up? What did they tell you was your time?
15 minutes.
Yeah, mine was like 15, 20 minutes. Some people have 30 minutes and some people have 45 minutes to an hour, which is crazy.
Like I'm not flopping around in the pool anymore, like a little kid. So I don't think I'm in any danger. I'm usually.
What do you think the issue was? You think they were worried that you got cramp?
Yeah, that was the issue, is that you're swimming around, you get a cramp and then you drown. So why can't you swim for at least 30 minutes after eating? In a recent episode of the podcast Science Stuff, host and former roboticist Jorge Cham, let's go with Cham, takes listeners on a deep dive into this possible myth, exploring exactly what it means, if there's any degree of truth to it, and whether we can start eating more snacks right before we hop in the pool. So, where did this myth come from? Even the source of this old age wisdom is somewhat shrouded in mystery. Cham explains that neither he nor anyone he consulted with could definitively determine where the recommendation to wait 30 minutes before swimming originated. However, the earliest documented mention of this that he could find comes from a somewhat unexpected source: the original Boy Scouts manual from 1908. Okay.
The Scouting for Boys by Robert Baden-Powell. This book, which was wildly popular in the early 20th century, offers a wide range of advice, from practical skills such as how to use a compass to wisdom that doesn't endure, like weather predictions such as a yellow sunset means wind. The latter is unsurprising considering that this is a text for over 100 years ago. Yet hidden within its pages is a piece of counsel that is still passed on today. Quote, never bathe in deep water very soon after a meal. It is very likely to cause a cramp, which doubles you up and you get drowned. End quote.
Nailed it.
And yep, exactly. It's pretty concise. So it goes on to say that young boys should wait 30 minutes in very short shorts in the heat and sun next to the water and don't move and rub oil on each other. I'm sorry. That's the rest of that. They didn't go.
Yeah, because all that sun helps the food to melt.
Yeah, it makes the boys tender is what it does. Mm-hmm. And here is where the 30-minute myth begins, at least to the best of their knowledge. So is swimming after eating dangerous? As the language of this archival Boy Scout manual indicates, the rule that you shouldn't swim for at least 30 minutes after eating arises from the fear that doing so could cramp severely enough that you'll drown. To determine this concern is justified, Cham consults an ideal source, Dr. Matthew Badgett, a physician specializing in internal medicine and pediatric primary care at the Cleveland Clinic, who also happens to be a competitive swimmer in high school. Badgett has spoken before about the relationship between swimming and eating. To start, Badgett highlights the contradiction in parents advising children to eat right before swimming, against eating right before swimming, while simultaneously encouraging them to eat and drink just before other activities such as soccer to prevent cramps. Recalling his own childhood, he says, quote, I always had a strong barometer for hypocrisy, but I always thought this rule made no sense to me, end quote. He also notes that, quote, I could physically tell the difference if I had 2 pieces of toast and then went and swam for an hour at 5:30, 6 a.m. in high school versus if I didn't. I would be dragging. Overall, the doctor emphasizes that for strenuous activities such as biking and running, You need calories to fuel your body. This also applies to competitive swimming. Although most people aren't exercising vigorously enough while swimming in a pool, Badgett explains that during his pediatric training, he never learned anything indicating that you should or shouldn't eat before swimming in any scenario. He's also never had a parent approach him with this issue caused by their child eating shortly after swimming. In addition to Badgett's experience as a doctor and his logical argument against the archaic rule against eating in swimming, Cham also examines published scientific evidence confirming that there's nothing to worry about. This article goes on for a really long time, and I'm not going to do that to you all because fuck this shit. It got really boring. Once they go into the fucking like American Red Cross Scientific Advisory Committee publishing, like, you know, we get it. Basically, you're good. Just, you know, the issue is don't eat a fucking shit ton of food because honestly, working out or swimming while really full will make you throw up probably. You know, like.
Yeah, I could see throwing up as opposed to getting a cramp and dying.
Yeah, so, you know, I'm not reading all this shit. Like, I've read it before and I was just like, okay, I'll just cut it off here. But so basically, according to the Red Cross guidances, you don't have to worry about any serious danger from eating for 30 minutes of swimming. It's not really a safety issue. You can definitely swim right after eating, but if you've had a large meal, it might be wise to wait about 30 minutes to avoid feeling nauseous. So if you've only had a light snack, you know, enough to just get something in your stomach to give you a little energy, like a Cliff Bar or fucking granola bar or something like that, or even like a small sandwich, just don't eat a fucking half a bucket of fried chicken and try to go swimming. It's not going to work out well for you. Or will it? So, yeah, I think I've done that before where, like, you know, they got to pry you out of the pool when you're a kid. And then they, you know, they got like burgers and hot dogs and macaroni salad and potato salad and linguine salad. And you eat all that shit. And then you jump back in the pool. And then like 10 minutes in, you're just like, and that's not fun.
No.
Because as a kid, you don't give a fuck. You're just like, yeah, this is the great. All right, let's keep going. You know, like just puke and
Billy puked on the water slide.
Oh God, I got it up my leg. Gross. All right, finally, and this is really interesting, and I can see you trying this.
Okay,
if you can get a hold of it. Pizza Hut just put its own spin on quote unquote caviar with these pepperoni flavored pearls.
Okay. On
Wednesday, May 9th, yesterday, Pizza Hut announced its plan to launch Pizza Caviar, which it calls a quote unquote first of its kind innovation, end quote. Meant to elevate the world's most beloved comfort foods, end quote. But this innovative topping isn't the kind of caviar you might be envisioning. Pizza Hut is launching a product meant to, quote, replicate the look and feel of traditional caviar, end quote, without the fish involved. According to the brand, jars of the treat are filled with tiny balls of pizza caviar that deliver a, quote, smoky pepperoni flavor, end quote. These spheres are crafted from pepperoni-flavored water and agar-agar, a plant-based gelatin-like thickening agent made from red seaweed. Have you ever had this kind of thing where they take and make flavored pearls? I actually have the agar upstairs and the liquid the powder that you lick. It's some kind of sodium something that you put in there to calcify it, you know, like solidify make the balls. Yeah. And it's a lot of fun. And you do it once and then you never do it again because you're not a fucking restaurant.
It is fun though to make something like that for like a New Year's party. Just make a bunch of flavored agar balls.
Yeah. Like when we go to El Jaleo, Jose Andres' place, he was one of the first guys in America to start doing it because he was friends with Ferran Adria at El Bulli in Spain,
so many words.
Developed the technique. And if you go to El Jaleo today, which we're going to be going in like a week, they have, it's called, Yes, we are. Have you ever eaten at El Jaleo?
Where is that? That's close.
It's in DC.
Close to Chinatown.
Yes.
We were going to go there, and then we didn't.
It's really good. It was one of the first tapas places in like famous tapas places.
I think the last time I was down there, we were there for a convention, and I was texting you about it, and we just didn't wind up going.
Yeah. They do a spherical olive, which is a nod to El Bulli, because when they opened, that was like one of their really first famous dishes. And it's so big. It's like an olive sized, spherized piece of olive juice. And god damn, it's so good. If you like the taste of like green olives, like Spanish green olives, it's just pure liquid enjoyment. It's so good.
That's fun.
Yeah. Back to this story though. Although putting real caviar on a pizza might be the more obvious choice, the brand says in a press release that it posed the question, why just place caviar on your pizza when you can reimagine it entirely and create a bold new food category? I just assume that's how they all talk. Pizza explains that the new creation was inspired by the increasing popularity of caviar bumps, where diners down a bite of plain caviar straight off the back of their hand. Have you heard about this?
Caviar bumps.
It has, it's been a thing for like 2 years. Like they pay like $15 for, or $30 for, $1.50 worth of caviar, just a little nib on their, and then they eat it after chips and shit like that. So, consequently, the pizza chain's own caviar balls aren't just designed for topping pizzas or chips, but also for dipping, dunking, and bumping. That sounds gross. It sounds like they're just doing cocaine. Quote, as a brand, we're always pushing the boundaries of what pizza culture can be. We saw an opportunity to take one of today's biggest food trends and make it our own. End quote. Melissa Freeby, the chief marketing officer of Pizza Hut, shared in a statement. Quote, pizza caviar is our way of bringing a touch of indulgence while staying true to the flavors people love from Pizza Hut. End quote. If you want to try the pizza caviar for yourself, you do not need to be located in New York City. Oh, you do need to be located in New York City. Womp womp. It's only available at the Pizza Hut at 932 8th Avenue in New York City. To score some of the pepperoni flavored delicacies from this location, you need to order the new Pizza Caviar Bump Box, which includes 1 cheese personal pan pizza and a choice of 3 plain boneless wings or fries, and of course, the Pizza Caviar. Make sure you act fast. It'll only be going from today, which is April 10th, until April 12th. So it'll sell out. Like, it's such a stupid fucking idea that is actually pretty smart.
I think it's very smart.
I think it's a great idea. And it's funny because in the beginning, when I first saw this story, I was like, are they just encapsulating like pepperoni oil, which would be really gross. But also people would fucking fuck that up too. Like if you just sold jars of pepperoni oil, people would buy that shit.
Most likely, yeah.
Like just to fry that. Like then you get like,
I drizzle it on my omelet.
When I meal prep for my 13 kids, I just fry their eggs in pepperoni oil. It's fun. Thanks, for the Mom. Whole family. Yeah. Heart attack. But yeah, so be ready to see this shit on like in jars next year.
On my podcast when we do a taste test.
Yeah, I can't wait to do it. It sounds like fun. On their picture on their website, I'll show you because this is like your dream right here. They have it on their nuggies.
On Pizza Hut nuggies?
Yeah, Pizza Hut on their boneless nugs.
That doesn't look good.
What are you talking about? That looks great.
Like a mess.
But it's chicken nugs. Then I'm assuming some sort of ranch or blue cheese.
Oh, I thought it was like fresh mozzarella.
No. It's some sort of sauce. And then the caviar on top. And then they got the thing that throws me off. They got dill and chives.
Yeah, that's weird.
But again, that could be also in the ranch. So in the ranch. So whatever.
Well, yeah, I guess I'm driving to New York City tomorrow.
Yeah, just give me a jar.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
I'll get you a jar.
as much as I make fun of them, it's actually a really smart idea. And I wish more people would do it. I have a jar of encapsulated spherized balsamic vinegar, and it's not great because it's like truffle flavored.
Okay.
And it's not great. Luckily it was given to me as a like, I sell gourmet food. Try this out. And I was like, yeah, sure. And then everyone in the family went, ugh. And I went, yeah, I'll hold on to it just in case though. To let people, when they come over my house, try it and go, ugh, because that makes me laugh sometimes. So that's it for food news.
Nice.
All right.
We all learned something.
Well, everybody, we did all learn something. We learned that you and I would drive up to New York to get some spherized pepperoni water. Pepperoni water, yeah. All right. Thanks for listening to the Rude Cooking School podcast. I really appreciate it. Evan has a podcast he'd like to tell you about right now.
Oh, it's called The City That Breeds podcast, aka the CTB show. This most recent episode dropped today, and it's just me and Brian because Casey couldn't get away from his 3 screaming kids. And we did a nice little riff on why don't we have Kit from Knight Rider, and I suggested that we could have it, and we probably will have it in the next 7 years.
My car talks to me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
A car with AI enabled, and the self-driving car eventually is going to be a thing. So you combine the two, you got Kit.
Yeah. Like my car reads my text messages to me now.
Mm-hmm. I don't like that.
And it pronounces words really weird, and it's really funny to me.
Hello, John. How are you?
Yeah. And what's fun is you get to pick its own voice. So it's like you get 5 or 6 different voices.
British lady. Snoop Dogg.
I have the ethnically ambiguous lady.
Right.
Vaguely she could
British
be black.
Accent.
She could be black. No, she's American.
Oh, okay.
She could be black. She's definitely from the city. She could be, Puerto Rican, but
Rosie
it's
Perez.
definitely not a white lady. But yeah, I like it. Also, my car does drive by itself if I need it to. So there you go.
It parallel park itself or drive itself?
No, if I need to park in a parking spot that I can't get out of by my doors, I just line the car up and then press a button and it parks it into the spot for me. It goes forward and back by my fob.
So you're driving it with your phone?
With my key fob.
Your key fob. Yeah. What a world.
I control it with my phone in the morning. I turn it on when it's cold from my phone to heat seats. Heat steering wheel.
I still have a manual transmission. It's a 2017, and I'm like, this is probably the last one they're ever going to make.
Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, so go and check out his podcast. It's a blast. So we'll talk to you later, everybody. See ya.
Oh, bye.
Oh, say your name because I have a thing that I just tag on now.
Oh, I see. My name is Evan the Mayor, and yeah, pepperoni balls. Yeah, all right, let's do it.
So thank you for listening to the Rude Cooking School podcast. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. If you want to join us on the interwebs, you can find us at Facebook. Just look up Rude Cooking School. You can join us and have a blast sharing memes and being silly and asking questions and looking at other people's recipes and being jealous. But then they'll give you the recipe and you'll be happy about it. We're also on Blue Sky. I'm at Rude, ROUXDE, and also at Rude Podcast. Find us over there. I post more there than I do. I post more on the Facebook thing, but more than any other of the socials I'm getting off of Instagram and other things. So come and find me at Rude Podcast or at Rude on Blue Sky. If you can, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your coworkers, anyone who is into cooking or food or eating or food history or podcasts or just lonely and want to hear an asshole talk to them. Just let them know about the podcast. We really appreciate it. We don't pay for advertising, and word of the mouth is how we get around. So, that said, thank you for listening to the Rude Cooking School podcast. I'm John Hauser. Don't yuck my yum. I'll see you next week. Peace.